Remember, quitting isn't always giving up. Sometimes it's making space for something better. And regardless of whether things work out exactly as you planned, showing up for yourself and your dreams is something to be proud of.
You're never too busy, too tired, too old, or too anything to pursue your dreams. Welcome to the Distracted Dreamer podcast, where you'll learn how to move all those never-ending distractions aside and chase your dreams with confidence.
Hey there, it's your host and friend Carlene, and welcome to the Distracted Dreamer podcast. First of all, I am so excited you're here, and I am really psyched about what we're going to talk about today. And it's always such an honor to spend time with you and for us just to be together. And if you're a new listener, I want to take a moment and personally welcome you to the Distracted Dreamer family. I am so glad that you're here. And because you made the time to hit play and listen to this particular episode, I know that you're the kind of person who values your time, and your time and energy are the most important resources that you have. I mean, what you pour your energy into, how you spend your time, it determines what your life feels like. And today, you and I are going to talk about 5 questions to ask yourself before you quit anything. It can be a big dream. It can be something that you're volunteering at. It doesn't matter what it is, but we all face that point somewhere along our journey where we question, am I doing the right thing? Should I still be doing this? And how do we make those decisions? Well, I'm going to give you the 5 questions to ask yourself before you make that decision. So, when you are on your journey and you face that moment when you're wondering, should I just quit? You know what I'm talking about, right? That project that you started with so much enthusiasm that's now collecting dust. That relationship that used to fill you with joy, but now, not so much. What about that job that once felt like your dream job, but now it just feels like a daily grind? You know what? Sometimes things don't work out the way we expect them to, even when we pour our energy, time, and thoughts into them. And let's be honest, it's so easy to quit when we're frustrated and disappointed. But here's the thing. There are 2 ends on the quitting spectrum. On one end is where we let our emotions drive an impulsive decision to just jump ship. And on the other end is the belief that quitting equals failure. So we hang on for all the wrong reasons. So again, today I'm going to walk you through 5 questions that have helped me figure out when it's time to pivot and when it's time to persist. Because I absolutely believe that it's okay to quit sometimes. But I also believe you've got to stick it out long enough to see if the magic is going to happen. So you can quit if it's no longer serving you, if your heart's not in it, if you know it's not right for you, and it's not bringing you any joy. You can absolutely quit. But don't quit if you're just fearful of looking silly. Don't quit if you're just fearful, like, I'm scared it's not going to work, so I'm just going to quit. Don't do that. Maybe it's really uncomfortable, and maybe you want to jump ship. But before you do, I want you to go grab your journal or your notebook and a cup of whatever your something delicious is and answer these 5 questions, which are going to give you so much clarity on what you should do. Are you ready? Okay, let's dive in. Question number 1 is it hard or is it hurting you? Now, there's a massive difference between something being challenging and something being harmful. Let's break this down. Okay, so for example, we've all had those friendships where someone becomes very needy. And it might not have started out that way, but the friendship that started out as this fun, casual connection, it turns into late night texts, constant complaining, or even you feeling like you're kind of being used as a therapist, and you are not a therapist. And the friendship becomes very one-sided. So yes, this friendship that started out as this great thing, it has shifted, and it's hard. The question is it hurting you? So are you losing sleep because of the late night texts and calls? Are you feeling resentful that you never get to talk about you? Are you exhausted at every interaction? Do you feel dread when you see their name pop up on your phone? Ooh, that's a big one. And are you anxious that you could be giving some bad advice? And if you answer yes to any of those questions, it's hurting you. So it's time to set some boundaries with this friend or quit the friendship. Now, quitting a friendship, that's hard. Do you just ghost them? I always say, don't do that because it's really, really hurtful. But what are you supposed to do? So in this case, you might try setting some boundaries first. Maybe have a very honest conversation with them and encourage them to get some professional support. And I really feel like this could be an episode in of itself. But answer the question, if this friendship is just hard right now because your friend is going through a difficult season, or if it's hurting you. Here's how you can tell the difference. Hard things make you stronger when you push through them. Harmful things, they continue to drain you no matter how much you push through it. So ask yourself, is this situation with this friendship teaching me valuable lessons and building my resilience? Or is it chipping away at my mental health and well-being? Okay, so that was just an example of is it hard or is it hurting you? So you can use that when it comes to anything, your career, a hobby, a project, anything at all. But the relationship was just an example of that. So the question number 2 is this. Does it fill you up or empty you out? Or in other words, does it drain you? Does it fill you up or does it drain you? We all have those activities or relationships in our lives that either act as energy sources or energy drains. So think about the time you spend volunteering for things, for example. Maybe it's at your church, or maybe it's for your kid's school, or maybe you've been the soccer coach for your kid's Park District soccer team for years. Or maybe like me, you're the Girl Scout troop leader. You probably never knew this about me. I was a troop leader for 8 years. Yes, 8 years of planning meetings, activities, weekends away. And my co-leader and I, we had so much fun. So when our second daughters entered kindergarten, we decided to be their troop leaders too. So for 8 years, we ran 2 Girl Scout troops, and both of us packed up our third child each and brought them to almost every meeting or outing. For me, it was daughter number 3, and for my co-leader, it was her son. And it was so cool. It was like they were the stars of every meeting. All the girls included them in everything and just doted on them. And it was so sweet and really such a special time. And I have so many great memories of these years. So when my youngest daughter got to kindergarten, I really struggled with the decision to sign on again for a third term, so to say. I mean, after all, I had all the ideas and activities all queued up, but my co-leader wouldn't be with me on this one, and I couldn't imagine doing it without her. And honestly, I felt like I gave all I had to our Girl Scouts. It filled me up for most of the 8 years, but it was time for something new. And the exhaustion and the time commitment, it was taking its toll on me, and it was pulling me away from other places where my family needed me. So I made the decision. I quit. I ended my career as a volunteer Girl Scout troop leader after 8 years. And my youngest daughter, she did join a troop, but she dropped out after the first year. In fact, I'm not even sure if she made it through the whole year. She said it just wasn't the same without me there as the troop leader. I know, isn't that very, very sweet? And I mean, my heart just cracked right open when she said it. But it was okay because she had her own unique Girl Scout experience with her sisters. I mean, how cool is that? So think about your own life. Maybe that volunteer thing that once filled you up, maybe it doesn't anymore. Sticking it out and continuing to do it should not be because you've put so many years in already and you think others will be disappointed if you move on. Maybe that side hustle that once excited you, it now feels like a second job. Maybe that weekly commitment that used to bring you joy, now it feels like an obligation. So pay attention to what drains you. Does your body feel heavy when you think about doing it? Do you find yourself making excuses to avoid it? Because those are signs that something might be emptying you or draining you out rather than filling you up. All right, moving on to question number 3. Is this thing, is it holding you back or is it helping you? So sometimes we pour energy into fixing something that's fundamentally broken when we should be creating something new instead. So again, I have another personal story to share with you. I started a blog more than a decade ago, and the frustrating thing was I had no idea if what I was putting out there mattered to anyone, if anyone was even reading it. And with a full coaching calendar, I didn't have the time to really optimize the blog with all the SEO stuff and everything. So I sat back and I watched podcast after podcast come onto the scene over the years. And I thought, I want to do that. And I had clients asking me, why don't you do a podcast? Well, the answer to that is because I was scared. I knew I could have more engagement and help more people with a podcast than with my blog. So here we are. You can see what I chose. So my blog is still out there, but I'm so excited to be in the world of podcasting now. A podcast actually supports my new business model in ways that a blog couldn't. And what the blog was doing, it was keeping me busy and it was convincing me that I was working hard and I was putting good stuff out there. But it was all a ruse. It was keeping me small and it was letting me hide. In creating this podcast, it has increased my confidence and it is helping me help you in a much more personal way. So think about it for a minute. What are you trying to fix in your life right now? Is it a relationship? Is it a business model? Is it one of your creative projects? And more importantly, what's all this fixing keeping you from? Because fixing something can be a form of sneaky procrastination. So sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop fighting against what's broken and create something new instead. All right, moving on to question number 4. Are you growing or does your life feel stale and stuck? So growth is one of our basic human needs. When we're not growing, we kind of start to feel restless, we're bored, and we just feel unfulfilled. Oh, I have another personal story for you. After COVID hit, my entire business model was turned upside down. Suddenly, all my one-on-one coaching sessions that used to happen via phone or in person had to be on Zoom. I was sitting in front of a camera for 20 hours a week. Not just passively listening, but actively engaging for 20 hours over the week. And the Zoom fatigue, it was real, my friend, real. And even after COVID passed, the Zoom cat was out of the bag and it became almost impossible to get people to go back to coaching via phone. And then we made our move to Tennessee and I lost all flexibility. I had to rush home and be camera ready for back-to-back Zoom calls. And on top of that, I realized I had maxed out my earning potential because I was literally trading time for dollars. And you know what? I was ready to burn it all down. I mean, take down my website, close my calendar, throw away my digital courses, quit coaching entirely. I was done. Or so I thought. And a very good friend of mine, she told me, just wait until you get settled in Tennessee and then reassess. And so I did. And in that pause, I realized my choice wasn't to burn it all down or keep going as is. It was to change how I served people through coaching. And that's when I opened the doors to my Today I Can community, where people come to work on their dreams together. We coach, we co-work, and we support each other through it all. And I also kept space for a handful of one-on-one coaching clients. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. And then you guessed it. I started this podcast because I finally had the time and the bandwidth to create it. But without pausing and reflecting first about this, I know in my heart of hearts that walking away would have been a huge mistake. I paid attention to my gut, and I thought about what it would mean to burn it all down completely. I mean, just the thought literally twisted me in knots. And that's how I knew quitting wasn't the answer, but creating something new was the opportunity. So what lights you up? What makes you smile? What brings you joy? These are clues to where your growth might be waiting for you. All right, and the last question is question number 5. Are you having bad dreams? Yeah, that's the question. Are you having bad dreams? Now, this one might sound a little woo-woo, but our subconscious often knows things before our conscious mind actually catches up. So there are 2 kinds of stress dreams. There's the ordinary stress dream. So let's say that you're a teacher and you're having dreams of showing up to class unprepared the night before a new school year begins. But the dream stops once you settle into your routine. That's an ordinary stress dream. Now, here's a change signaling dream. So this stress dream says it might be time for a change. So you are still the same teacher, but you're repeatedly having dreams of teaching in a foreign language that you don't even understand. And you notice students are becoming really, really frustrated. And these dreams continue for months, even though you consciously believe that your career is really fulfilling. But what these dreams are pointing to is a deeper misalignment between your teaching style and what your students actually need. So pay attention to your dreams, especially the recurring ones. They're often processing the emotions and the situations that your conscious mind is trying to ignore. So dreams, they serve as windows into our deeper concerns and our emotional state. And when we're considering a major life change, like quitting a job, a relationship, or relocating somewhere, our dreams may become more vivid and meaningful. So let's talk about 3 dream patterns that signal it's time for change. All 3 of these dream patterns are recurring, meaning you're having the dream over and over and over again. So the first one is that you're having dreams about being restricted or limited. So you might be having dreams about being trapped in small spaces, or rooms are getting smaller. Maybe you're stuck in an elevator, or maybe you find yourself behind barriers like walls or locked doors or fences. Or maybe other people are moving normally, but you're moving in slow motion. Or maybe you're being weighed down and you're unable to move. So those are dreams about being restricted or limited that are signaling it might be time for change in your life. The second dream pattern is performance anxiety dreams. I think we've all had these, but these, again, are recurring. It's not just a one-time thing. So if you're continually having dreams about showing up unprepared for important events, or you're missing deadlines, or you're unable to speak when you need to present something, or maybe in your dream, you're finding yourself naked or inappropriately dressed in professional settings. Oh my goodness. So those are performance anxiety dreams, and those signal that it might be time for a change. The last dream pattern are called escape dreams. If you are constantly having dreams where you are running from something, and you don't even know what it is, it doesn't matter what it is, but you're just constantly running from something, or you're packing your bags, but you're never actually leaving, or maybe you're missing planes, trains, buses, any kind of transportation. Or how about this one? If you're having dreams about that you search for exits, you find them, and then they disappear. Oh my gosh, that's terrifying. So escape dreams, those are the third dream patterns that signal that it's time for change. So think about, are any of those happening for you right now? Or can you think of a time when they have? So what are you going to do with this, right? If you keep having dreams about showing up unprepared or missing deadlines or feeling trapped, your subconscious, it might be sending you a message about your current situation. So how do you work with this? Well, I'm going to tell you, keep a dream journal. Keep it beside your bed so that you can write down your dreams when you wake up. If you actually wake up from your dream in the middle of the night, don't be like, I'll remember this dream. I do this all the time. I'll remember this dream in the morning. And then I go back to sleep and I wake up. I'm like, oh, I know there was a dream I wanted to remember, and I don't remember it. If you wake up in the middle of the night after a dream, write it down. Don't wait till the morning. Then what you want to do is, after you've recorded so many dreams, right, look for patterns. You're going to look for emotional patterns instead of just focusing on the literal content of the dreams. The third thing that you're going to do is you're going to notice if there's a recurring theme across the weeks or the months that you're having these recurring dreams. The fourth thing to do is to consider the timing. And what I mean by this is dreams often intensify when decisions become urgent. So the closer you get to a decision having to be made to that deadline, your dreams might intensify. And number 5, share your dreams with somebody that you trust. They might be able to see a pattern that you might miss. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is dreams alone shouldn't drive major life decisions. But when you combine it with the other warning signs that you uncovered in the first 4 questions we covered, they can really provide valuable insight into what you really want and need. Your subconscious, it often recognizes your current situation is not aligned with your values long before you're ready to consciously admit it. So let's summarize the 5 questions to ask yourself before deciding to quit your dreams, be it a project, a relationship, a big move, a business, a hobby, your volunteer work, anything at all. Here we go. Question number 1. Is it hard or is it hurting you? Question number 2. Does it fill you up or drain you? Question number 3. Is it holding you back or helping you? Question number 4. Are you growing or does your life feel stale and stuck? And question number 5. Are you having bad dreams? And one of the biggest things I want you to take away from today is that before you make any big decisions based on these questions, I want you to do one more thing. Pause for 48 hours. You don't have to make big decisions quickly. Give yourself time to process. Journal about your thoughts. Talk to someone you trust. And over time, your brain will start to recognize information that it wasn't able to in the moment. And your gut is going to get a chance to weigh in as well, which is really important. The worst thing that you can do is make a choice that you're unsure about. Instead, take a break, then come back to your decisions with the confidence that you can commit to them. Remember, quitting isn't always giving up. Sometimes it's making space for something better. And regardless of whether things work out exactly as you planned, showing up for yourself and your dreams is something to be proud of. I'm showing up here week after week, even when it's hard, and I'm pretty proud of myself for doing so. And I hope you identify the areas where you're showing up, even though it might not be working just yet. Maybe it's really uncomfortable, and maybe you just want to jump ship, but before you do, grab that journal and do a deep dive into these questions. You've got this, friend. And until next time, keep dreaming, keep doing, and remember, sometimes the best dreams come after you let go of the ones that weren't meant for you. Alrighty, I'll talk to you next week, and I'll be waiting for you in the very next episode. The moment you hit play, I'll be there to welcome you in, and I'll see you there.
I love spending time with you here. And if today's episode sparked something for you, I'd love to hear about it. Leave a review, share it with a friend, or come chat with me on Instagram. And thank you so much for tuning in. And your dreams are waiting for you. Your time is now. And I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Oh, and one more thing. This is the legal language. You know, the stuff that the lawyers put together, and they say that I need to read this to you. So here we go. This podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. I'm just your friend. I'm not a licensed therapist. This podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or other qualified professionals. Got it? Good. I will see you in the next episode.